Hi there, my name is Amanda, a nutritionist, and welcome to the Your Take Show. This is a show where you lead. Why? Because it is your opinions, it is your questions, your opinions, and even your emoji reactions that actually drive this show. So what can we expect today in the show? A few segments. The first will be the food throne, where we'll just identify a food and its benefits as well, shed a light on it, and that's why we put it on a throne. And then get on to our second segment, which will be the discussion room, where everyone, always has their input, and we guide each other, but on questions particularly related to food and any feeding challenges. Then we'll finally end with a wellness quote, because I can't just leave you like that. I have to leave you with a parting gift, don't I? Yes, and then maybe we'll get to discuss how you can get in touch and connect with us. So to start with, our food throne, today we are putting chia seeds, the food chia seeds, on the throne. Why? Why are they so special? Because first of all, they are natural food, and also because they have numerous benefits. Some people would wonder, where can we use chia seeds, and which particular people actually need these chia seeds. So all of us need chia seeds, whether you have underlying diseases or not. For those that have underlying diseases, this can help to at least detoxify the body system. So if we have, say, high cholesterol and you're trying to just reduce that, these would be very helpful. If you have, say, blood sugar that you're trying to regulate, these would be very helpful as well. Even those that have something as mere as constipation or piles, chia seeds are quite helpful. So for even the people that don't have any underlying diseases, because from time to time we can all suffer constipation, these are very, very important. And right now, when we are undergoing the lockdown, where most of us are eating the same type of food, and it's most likely posho, you might be struggling with piles or constipation. So these are important for both the healthy and those with also underlying diseases they are trying to manage. What makes them so healthy and helpful when it comes to disease management and keeping us healthy? These are packed with fiber, so even for those that are trying to lose weight, this would be a great way to start. And they are very easy to use because they are because they have a very high water absorbing capacity. They would also be very, very helpful when it comes to, just cleansing our body system. So they have lots of fiber in there, which is a magic nutrient that we all look out for. They also have a lot of selenium, copper, magnesium, even some iron is inside these very tiny seeds. They are really tiny. They're probably smaller than sesame seeds or simsim seeds. So they are really tiny. Same shape, but maybe just difference in color, which is black. Now the other minerals we have talked about, the magnesiums and coppers and seleniums, are actually very important when it comes to things like good muscle health, when it comes to things like good nerve health, because you need your body to coordinate and send messages throughout its body system quite well. So these would be helpful. I think we need to discuss also which particular food dishes we can use our chia seeds in. So because they're easy to use, we can use them as decoration, or what we call garnishing on our foods. For example, on top of cakes, you can just pour a few chia seeds to decorate your cake, or even your muffins. We could also use them on top of fruit salads and vegetable salads. Just pour a few over there and have them. You can even put them in your smoothies, because they would blend in very well and help with absorbing water, so you'd be taking in a lot more water than you actually do on a normal day. Or you can, as simple as what I'm going to show you, is just place them inside your water, just like that, and then have your chia seeds, and you're done. So chia seeds are quite easy to use and very available as well. Support your local markets, because I know they have them, and don't pass them by the next time you see them stocked up. So let's go into our discussion room. Our first question coming in from Alice, who asked, what's the right time for supper? We discussed this, and we said the first hours of the night are always the best times, but there are some things that we can learn from Alice's question, some of which are One, good food etiquette is actually, it portrays good food discipline. And so because these etiquette guidelines were not just placed for fun or for bougie's sake, they were actually placed there because there was reasons behind each one of them. So if you are able to follow good food etiquette, you definitely have greater food discipline, and what that rewards us with is good health in the long run or over time. So we need to adhere and try as much as we can to make good food etiquette our lifestyle and our habits as well. Then there are also, on top of just eating on time, we are very it would be very important for us to also know that there are liquids or fluids that can actually help aid our digestion after we have eaten, because that's pretty important. You wouldn't want to eat food and it's stuck up in there, it's not moving, or it's coming out the way it got in, more or so the way it got in, and you're not making the most out of your food, or most of it is just being stored and getting you to gain unnecessary weight. So some of the fluids that we can have are, for example, things like wine. I'm not talking about having a full bottle after your meal, don't put that blame on me. I'm talking about just having a little sip, you know, here and there, one glass, and you're done after your meal. Or we can talk about having herbal teas, something as simple as ginger tea, something as simple as cinnamon tea, something as simple as mujaja tea. All those can help us when it comes to aiding with digestion. So Alice, I hope that clarifies it for us, and thank you for submitting your question. We had the second question coming in from Otems. Now he's suffering with a skin rash that has been very persistent for a very long time, 8 years, you can imagine, that's a really long time. So he's uncomfortable now, and he says he has tried so many places to try and get it treated, but he hasn't. So he was asking what can he use to treat this. What can we learn from Otem's question is, yes, it's very important to integrate nutrition in every treatment plan, because food definitely provides some supportive function when it comes to treating disease. But we need to be sure what we are treating, and we need to be sure which foods, and that is why we shall go back to the lesson of correct diagnoses are always very important. And if you want to know how successful a treatment plan will be, it has to start at a correct diagnosis. That means for Otems, we cannot just say because you have a rash, you should eat this particular food or the other particular food. That would be a wrong way to deal with the problem. So please, please, please always look out first for a correct diagnosis. Understand what exactly is the medical problem or disease that we are looking to treat, and then other experts can also help you. So until Otems you have given us precise information, unfortunately we cannot give any food assistance right now. Then we go on to our third question that came in from Sarah. Sarah is saying she needs to lose weight. She actually wants to do it in a particular amount of time. She feels she wants to start by having only breakfast and lunch. That means excluding supper or dinner, and she's wondering which times are best so she can balance both her supper and her lunch. So for Sarah, first of all, our main meals, we should know main meals are pretty important. And when we say main meals, we mean 3 meals, which is breakfast, lunch, and supper, unless otherwise advised by a nutritionist or a medical expert, depending on the type of disease you are trying to manage. But if you are just trying to lose weight, manage weight, we recommend please have all your meals. We are actually not supposed to be skipping meals because we think starving is what helps us lose weight. It's actually eating food that helps you lose weight. But what is more important is what food are you eating. So eat the right foods to lose the weight that you actually need to. And that's why you need the guidance of an expert, a food expert. On top of that particular lesson where we have understood what the main meals are, let's also understand that taking too long without eating food can actually be very deteriorating for your health, because you are slowing the body down, you are teaching it to be sluggish, and therefore the speed at which your body is digesting food will also go down very drastically. And that will affect you, because at some point, even when you eat something as tiny as this, you'd still be either gaining weight or staying at the same weight. So my dear Sarah, please don't take too long without eating food. So now on to our fourth question that came in from Gift. She's asking, she's actually commenting and saying she's been on a fruits diet for a while, but the monotony is annoying, and so she has not been able to keep up with it. Well, for Gift, we have to understand that, you know, if we're not adding diversity or bringing variety to our diets, it's going to be very hard for you to keep consistent and actually be motivated to keep going at that diet. So you have to, first of all, even if it's a fruit diet, for example, you have to try and use different fruits. Today, if you've eaten jackfruit and pineapple, tomorrow you have to have bananas and maybe grapes. The other day you have apples and oranges. Just keep switching it up so that there's at least something different to taste, at least something different to see, to feel, and so it's easier for you to keep up. And then also we need to know that drastic diets like what you are doing, which is the fruit diet, should not be taken on for so long, because they can have drastic effects once you take them on for quite a long period of time. They can have effects on the body. So please keep them short, you know, 1 day, 3 days, don't take months, don't take so many weeks on them. Our last question came in from an anonymous person. She's basically speaking about cholesterol. She says she's trying to find out how she can deal with reducing her bad cholesterol. She has read on the internet that artichoke extract and then some supplements like also red yeast rice have been shown to be very helpful to reduce bad cholesterol, but she's wondering should she purchase them. So she was practically just asking for a go-ahead. Now what can we learn from her question? From her question, we learn, first of all, I'll commend her for consulting first before she actually goes on to buy some of these supplements and some of these medications, because, or even foods, because you need to have guided advice or guided information for you to actually do the right thing. Sometimes you waste too much money, you waste too much time and get disappointed at the end of it all when you don't get the results that you need, or your health has only gotten worse because you actually went in for wrong foods or wrong supplements. So thank you so much, first of all, for actually consulting. And then what else can we learn from her question is, yes, we're trying to reduce bad cholesterol, but we need to understand that you actually need to focus also on good cholesterol to actually help you reduce your bad cholesterol. I don't know if that's making sense, but you need to eat foods that are high in good cholesterol. For example, lots of nuts and seeds, for example, fish, because those are what will help us to actually reduce the bad cholesterol. Another thing we could learn from her question is, yes, you're using the supplements to try and reduce your bad cholesterol, but never forget that food is always the first line of action. So start with natural food first and let supplements come in just to aid the work that natural foods are actually doing. And then also, if you're having supplements, let's not cancel out all the work that the supplements are doing by having a lifestyle, an eating lifestyle, for example, or even another behavioral lifestyle that is actually cancelling out all the work that the supplements you have bought at a very expensive price are actually doing. For example, you might be eating those supplements here to reduce your bad cholesterol, but maybe you're not dealing with stress on the other hand. So that lifestyle bondage is actually cancelling out all the help that the supplements you're eating would have done for you. Or maybe you're having supplements, but the way you're eating, for example, maybe you're having too much of pork and animal foods, and so you're still stacking up on bad fat. So let's make sure that our lifestyles are actually complementing our use of supplements. This is a sad time now because we're ending the show, but I will not leave you like that. I'll leave you with a wellness quote for the week to keep you until the next week. So our wellness quote today says, the food you eat can actually be the most powerful medicine for you, or it can actually be your slowest form of poison. So please, please, please think about your foods twice before you have them. Let's have more of foods that are actually building our bodies, that are actually protecting our bodies, than foods that are actually destroying our bodies. Remember, you need to pass on good genes to your children. Remember, you need to live a long, healthy, and beautiful life. So choose foods that will actually be medicine and not poison. Finally, if you would like to connect with us, this is very exciting because we now have a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Amanda Twebaze -nutritionist. Please get down there. Please do subscribe, because that's how you support Amanda, by just going down there and simply subscribing and watching the content there. Even for those that are on our Facebook page, I know there's so much that we share on our Facebook page, and you who hasn't yet joined our Facebook community, please do. It's Amanda Twebaze -nutritionist. You can send in your questions and see what the community is talking about, because it's such an interactive space. We are also on Instagram. The handle is Food Witness, and we are also on WhatsApp. Definitely, our number is 0782 152610. On WhatsApp again, our number is 0782 152610. If you're the type that loves to read interesting, captivating content, we also have a food blog at amandatwebaze.blogspot.com. Until next time, it's a bye-bye from me.